Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I am Dean with Masterpiece in Gold and Silver, and today we are going to be tying some numismatic currency with local history. I am from New Hampshire, the great state of New Hampshire, and today we're going to be looking at this specific bank, the Wilton National Bank of Wilton, New Hampshire. This is actually the town that I grew up in. And this is actually the bank that I banked in as a child. So what I have here in this envelope, Wilton National Bank, Wilton, New Hampshire, is this really wonderful, and I got to be gentle with this because as you can see from other people handling it, their fingerprints have been left. This is the Wilton National Bank, 1929. This was a booklet that was put out about this bank. Here is a picture of it, and that is what the bank looks like. And it still is there today, not as a bank, unfortunately, as time moved on. This booklet has been prepared in connection with the opening of the bank's new building, May 20th, 1929. It is dedicated to our customers, depositors, stockholders, and friends who have made this new building possible through their confidence in this new bank. Wow. So this is just really wonderful. You can see the blueprints there, or what's supposed to be the blueprints. And then you can see the founded of service, that the bank was originally founded November 1st, 1928. Tells you how much capital and surplus. It also talks about why they needed the institution, the banking institution in Wilton, mostly because the banks just they were farther away. Milford is actually the town next to Wilton, but Nashua, Manchester, and of course Boston was quite a distance away from Wilton. So people wanted to be able to bank locally, to be able to walk to their bank, and that's what they did. So here's an old postcard I wanted to show you. This is Main Street, Wilton, from the vantage point of the Second Congregational Church of Wilton. And you can see the town hall is that kind of strange-looking building in the center there. And then right here is where the bank would be built. So in this postcard, the bank had not existed yet. So I want to just kind of keep looking through this booklet with you. Kind of talks about all the things that they're going to be offering at this new building, which is quite fascinating. It's interesting too because of all the blueprint that's in this book. That is what actually that's how the bank actually looked like, which is pretty neat. Even the chandeliers there as well. When I was going to it as a small child in the 1980s, they were still there. But it's at the back of this book that I really wanted to show you here. These actual photographs of these gentlemen. These folks would be the signers of these national banknotes. Here's the board of directors and the clerks. But you can see the officers there at the top. And these are the photographs here. And these gentlemen were the ones that actually signed on these banknotes. So you can see here George G. Blanchard. There's his signature. Here's his picture. And then Harold P. Parker, or H.P. Parker. And here he is here as the cashier. So this is just kind of fun to be able to have this. And I'm glad I was able to purchase this. And then here's a little sketch of Main Street, Wilton, and you can see the bank there. But let's look at these notes. So here's the $5 one. This is a type 1. The Wilton National Bank printed 3,790 sheets of the type 1 1929 $5 banknote. That was the pretty typical sheet output according to the books. And every 1929 $5 bill had a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on it, as you can see here. And this was actually the lowest denomination, or the small size of the national currency that any bank issued. So all the serial numbers end with the letter A, and they start with the letter between A and F. And if you remember, you can take the total number of sheets printed and multiply them by 6 to get the actual number of banknotes printed for this denomination. As you can see here, this is well circulated. I like getting a closer look here. We can just barely see Abraham Lincoln in the memorial there. But you can see that this is well circulated. There's no tears on this note. and no pinholes, but it is quite dirty. Lots of wrinkles, lots of folds, and the corners are okay. I paid $150 for this note, as you can see there, back in December 2022. Here's the $10 note, and the Wilton National Bank printed 2,150 sheets of this Type 1 1929 $10 National Bank note. Again, that's pretty typical size. This has the portrait of Alexander Hamilton on it. And then the black number written vertically is the charter number, and the charter number never affects the value. It's just that identifier. And this is again the $10 Type 1 National Bank note. I don't have any Type 2s in my collection, so if you do and you want to sell yours to me, I'd be more than happy to buy them. There are quite a few of these that are known to exist from all the different banks. But this one here is really one of my favorite notes. The color's still good. There's still some folds and wrinkles. I believe that this note was probably ironed just from its look. But again, I'm not a expert on currency. And as you can probably tell, I collect these not because I'm interested in national banknotes, but because I grew up in Wilton and I have so much of the local history, and I used to bank at this bank. So I paid $141 for that back in 2016. And then the last note here I have is another $10 note. This is the note that's probably in the best condition. Still, though, the corners are pretty rounded, and there is some strong folds on this note. Again, no pinholes or anything like that. But, you know, and some of the ink seems a little faded here and there. But I like the serial numbers. I like the lower serial numbers. And again, I just love the fact that these are from a bank that I actually used to go to on a weekly basis with my mother as a small child. And also my father, growing up in the next town over, he actually grew up with a lot of the Blanchard family and a lot of the Parker family. And a lot of the board of directors there that we looked at that list, a lot of those family names still live in Wilton, New Hampshire, and around the Wilton area. So again, this is just really nice local history that's connected to the wider nation. I just really enjoy looking at these old notes anyway. I do not know, and this, I guess I'm putting this out there to currency experts. On the back of these notes, like this one here, there is a small number that says 207 right there on the right-hand side right here. And on the other $10 bill, it says 163. I'm not really sure what those numbers are for, so if you do know, please feel free to put those in the comments. I also like just looking close here at all the detail. It's just really fantastic. Yeah. These are just some of my favorite things that... These are things I just want to be able to pass on to people. But let's take this one out. This one rolls. Oops, dropped it here. It starts to... So if I hold it flat here, again, I'm not a currency expert, but this left-hand side of this is going to pop up. Just me holding flat. See, right there. So it curls real easy, and I'm not really sure what that's about. I don't know if that's from the note being ironed or anything like that. So it's kind of a strange phenomenon. It just does it. And then when you lay it flat on this side, the note actually flattens out. It's just kind of fascinating to me. So again, if you hold it like this, it'll start to roll up. Watch this left-hand side here, and there it goes, starting to roll again. So I'm not really sure why that is, but anyway. So let's keep looking here. I'm done with the notes, but I wanted to show you some more local history stuff that goes along with these notes. So here from 1962 is a desk calendar that was never used. So I was able to find this at a yard sale, and I picked that up right quick and in a hurry. Here's some new old stock. This is a old bank book from the Wilton National Bank. You can see the bank right there. Never been used, which I really like. I picked this up on eBay in a lot with a whole bunch of other stuff. So like I said, this has never been used, but this is how they would keep track of how much money they had in their account for withdrawals and deposits. So that's really nice. I have another one, but the other one has been used, so I'll just show you. It's a nice cover, but again, it has been used, so it's missing some pages. What else do I want to show you here? Let me see. Oh, yes, these are kind of fun. These actually had coins in them. So you can actually see the PVC that's been left over. This was for quarters, and you can see the first 2 quarter slots. See that green? That's from the vinyl that the quarters reacted with this plastic. So yeah, not all of them are like that because those are the only 2 places that there was coins in there to react with it, hence why it turned green. But these were nice little savings books that the bank would put out. This one's for silver dimes or for dimes, and you can see this was full at one point. There was no money in this one when I received it, but you can see all the slots have a greenish color to them. But those are fun. I like seeing those. The full service bank, as they say. This was also fun. This came in with the whole group of stuff. So this is a interest calculator at 4% interest, and you can see right there Wilton National Bank on the front. This looks like it's probably from the 60s, from the 1960s. Especially, $10, $15, $20 per week. That was a lot of money to be trying to save. And as you can see here, gives you that quick interest calculator, so people can see what they could actually save, in a year for that compounded 4% year semi-annually growth. Put that here. Yes, these are just some checks. These have been folded and everything, but again, it has a nice picture of the bank, which is really nice. These would have been like a cashier check. Then there's I got this bag as well. Let me just grab this bag. This is I have several of these, but this is the one that's in the best condition, no tears, that has the original rope to it. There's a little bit of staining there you can see on the side, but nothing too bad. The other ones I have are got more stains, have some holes, and some of them don't have their original cords. Here is another checkbook. This is the special checking account. And this unfortunately has a couple missing checks, but for the most part, the whole book is here. So you can see this is who the account would have been with if they had written it out. And then right here, you can see there's some missing checks. But again, this doesn't have the picture of the bank on it. I kind of wish it did, but still it says Wilton National Bank, which is nice. And then this is my favorite. This is an era gone by. I should say, matchbooks. So the hometown banking, Wilton National Bank, Wilton, New Hampshire. Unfortunately, this is empty. You can buy these for several different things on eBay with matches, but I just like that, you don't really find matchbooks anymore. And then these are fun. So the bank, Wilton National Bank, was later sold to a larger bank out of Nashua called the Indian Head National Bank. And so I can't remember when the sale was, but this was one of their promotions for the bank. So this is the 1877 Indian Head penny. And a lot of banks, you can find these a lot on eBay for various different banks, but it was just a nice advertising piece for the bank. This one here has got a little, toning on it, which is kind of nice. It's kind of fun. Just kind of how it toned over the years. And then on the reverse, I actually had to do a little conservation because all here was corrosion and it was really eating away at the metal. So I had to clean up that metal the best I could to get that corrosion off. So unfortunately, it did take away a little bit of patina, but at least the obverse, I guess you'd say, the front of this little advertising piece, I didn't have to destroy in any way. So yeah, just looking at these are fun to collect. If you just want to collect them in general, that's fine. That's a great way. I think many people do. But like I said, I collect these national banknotes just for this bank because, like I said, it's local history. For me, it's the town I grew up in, and you can see that they're in decent shape. These would all be lower grade, and I don't really mind that they're lower grade because I just like having these examples. The $20 bill, I have yet to come across. I know they exist. I know they're out there. They're in people's collections, but I haven't come by it. The $10 note is actually the most common note that I've come by, hence why I have two. Currently, there is one up for on eBay, but I haven't bought it because it's just in not that great a shape, and I already have two, so why would I need it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little bit of local history and talking about national banknotes, and I hope you keep coming back and checking out my channel. Until we meet again, stay safe and enjoy.